Hey everybody, so this is where we do powers and power roots. So this 5 to the second power, all that little 2 means is how many 5s you're gonna put down, then you just multiply them. So 5 times 5 is gonna give us 25, okay? Now there's a special case when it comes to this 0. Anytime you have a 0 for power, doesn't matter which number this base is, if the exponent is 0, the answer is automatically 1, okay? So even if I had 100 to the 0 power, since it's a 0, the answer is 1, okay? Special rule. Now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go use this for the sake of the high set. They probably have a question like this that'll say the square root of 150, and they're gonna tell you to round it off to the nearest 10th, or the square root of 242. How do I round it off to the nearest 10th? Well, we're gonna use the high set calculator here to calculate what is the square root of 150. So what I want you to do here, when you have this calculator, what you're going to do is you're going to press this second button, and then you'll see up here it's on. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna press, all these green buttons will be activated. You see the square root button here? We're gonna press the button that is under it. So this is the x squared. Once I do that, I have a square root, okay? Now I can put the 150, and then I'm gonna press enter. Now you see how it gives me 12.24? They want you to round it off to the nearest 10th. So the nearest 10th is the first digit after the decimal. So the 2 is in the 10th place. When you look over to the right, if that number is 5 or higher, the 2 would go up. If it's less than 5, like this 4, the 2 is gonna stay the same. So our answer is going to be 12.2. Same thing I would do for the square root of 242. And one thing I would do want to add, you want to make sure that you have it in a proper mode. So when I press this mode, I want to make sure, if they're asking me for decimals, like rounded off to the nearest 10th, make sure it's on classic. And when it's blinking like that, you just press enter on it. Now you see how it's in black here? That means it's on classic. Most of the time the calculators can be on math print, but you're gonna wanna go into mode and put it back to classic so you can get your decimals, okay? So when I do the square root of 242, I'm gonna press second, then this x squared button, because I need that square root on top of it. Now when I have that, I can put the 242 and I press enter. Now look at that, I got 15.5563, but we only focusing on the 10th, which is that first 5 to the right of the decimal. When we look to the right, it's a 5. So that means that 5 right there after the decimal is gonna go up 1. So the answer for this is going to be 15.6. Okay, now there's one more thing I wanted to talk about is here's the buttons on how to do square roots, just in case anybody forgets it, okay? Now, if I wanted to do a cubic root of something, the only thing I would be pressing is first the 3, then the second button, and this time I'm going to be pressing this button here because the number that I put in front is gonna be the x, and that's the power we want, which is that 3 here. When I finish pressing this, I'm gonna put my number in, 2, 1, 6, and then I'm going to press enter, and that should give me my answer. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clear this first. Now I'm gonna press second. Oh, first, don't forget, we gotta press the 3 first. Always press the power, whatever it is first. Then I'm gonna press second, and remember, I'm gonna hit this button. And now look at that. You see how it gets small like that? Now I can put my 216 in, and look, it gives me my answer, 6. Because 6 times 6 times 6 gives me 216, all right? So try to get familiar with this high set calculator.